from the map. And with that being said, you won't be even seeing those sort of the tank Natalia cheese coming out your way.
Oh yeah, I think that the fact that it's the Natalia first that they ban out is they're afraid of the flexibility. Again, you mentioned the tank Natalia, but we haven't gotten into what we would like to call the support Natalia or the roaming Natalia.
That's right, and that is equally as vicious as well. But Esmeralda is definitely that sort of a pick that has been very prominent even in your normal rank plays when you queue in towards the Land of Dawn. So Esmeralda having this big fat shield, and you can just easily dive in with the Falling Star mood. So you definitely don't want to be having that sort of problem in towards the mid to late game phase.
You already mentioned it, man. This hero, we've had her for a while now, and there was a time wherein people would play Hylos just the neutralizer. You know, the confirmed stun really helps in stopping the purifier, at least mitigating that effect. But until today, she's just a menace. Looking at Omega Esports, they go ahead and ban out the Matilda. Have you seen your fair share of Matilda?
We've seen a couple of all these sort of games, and I definitely think that she can definitely get around the map pretty well as well. And in terms of team fight, she sets it up pretty perfectly in a sort of sense. But it does take quite an effort to be executing in a great perfection. But when she gets into towards a really good position to just put you off, it's going to be ultra dangerous for any teams to be facing off against. So having Matilda off is definitely going to be pretty much a safe way to go. So now Todak's turn to ban. They still have 2 more to go as they're taking their sweet time. And it seems like they will be taking out the Yuzong.
Ooh, Yuzong here. This is a Curtizi special. And I do think what these two teams, correct me if I'm wrong, Contra, I don't know if you agree with me, but what they're doing is they're just covering their bases. They're not attacking any strategy or any player specifically. This is just good heroes that they're taking out.
Exactly, and I definitely think that some of them are really, really strong. They could definitely sustain all by themselves. And speaking of which, we also have Brody being removed from play.
Oh.
I definitely think this is necessary. It's so annoying to deal against Brody, and the range is absolutely nuts. It gets so frustrating if he is ahead, and if he's behind, he just waits it out and he gets back at you in towards the late game phase.
Yep.
So I definitely think this is definitely a smart move coming from Omega.
Yeah, it's a hero that just breaks the rules of traditional MOBA, right? Like a marksman of this caliber should have a weak early game. But Brody has no such thing. Brody just marks people and is able to burst you down like, what, 3 or 4 auto attacks in. It's ridiculous.
It just melts you like butter, and whoa. Okay, I believe that's a Lapu Lapu, is that right?
It is arguably one of the winners of a patch that came down maybe a month or 2 ago, and he has been owning the off lane. He has been taking people down, whether it's from the EXP lane or from the gold lane. This hero right here is just a damage dealing machine. I put him in the same category as 2 other heroes. I put him in the same bunch as Benedetta and Lancelot. Benedetta just has more utility, and Lancelot just has more mobility and damage. Lapu Lapu kind of like puts those 2 worlds together.
Yeah, and he definitely is that sort of bully that you don't want to be messing with, especially that he could possibly outlast many other fighters out there, or even some, say, tanks. Now, we do have the very first pick coming in for Omega Esports, and that's going to be the Jawhead being picked up here from Key.
All right, you know what? I like this Jawhead, given that, yes, it's an okay tank these days, maybe only second to a Kai, but Jawhead here is going to be key to exploiting one of those weaknesses or those keys to victory for any team facing off against Todak.
That's right.
It's choking out Cheek, who's buffs.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be really much of a big concern, especially if he can actually get those ejectors off on the right target. Oh boy, definitely Todak will be running for their life, but Moontier is looking for pickoffs as he does secure a Selena on hand. And well, we do have the Kali.
That's going to be possibly on Stu in the XP lane, but could also be a flex for tank. I do like me some Kali tank. That Quicksand Guard is, for the lack of a better term, broken. Besides CC, he can just stand there and peel.
That's right. Like he could just peel, and as well as take in some hits and still be pretty much okay. He could just use his ult to dash away with that sand wave, you know?
Yeah. The Rampaging Sandstorm is both an engagement tool and a disengagement tool, and the fact that it's AoE stun is just beyond me. Now we're waiting for two more picks here from Omega Esports, and Contra! Did you notice the Benedetta was not banned at all? So Benedetta is opened up,
wow.
going over, I believe, in the XP lane for Curtizi, and Hajizi gets the Yusun Shin, which, by the way, does not expose. It's not an all-in choice. It can be good at any point in the game, given that you have the ultimate that opens up the map.
That's right, and I really do think that with Cortese here having that Benedetta as well, this is definitely going to be a really good sort of way for them to actually get in and out of the fight as well. So I would really wonder on how that lane is going to be played out in that sort of sense. Is it going to be that Khalid versus this Benedetta that will possibly be holding in towards the early game? And with that, do you actually favor the Benedetta or perhaps the Khalid?
That's the thing, is the Khalid can go forever, but the Benedetta has just on a higher uptime. Like, without Rampaging Sandstorm, Stu is just better off staying in his lane, right? But Benedetta can just call it quits. Curtizi can just call it and say, you know what, I'm done here. Like, I'm not getting anything from you. This lane is effectively dead, so I'm going to go ahead and visit mid. Let's see what Hajizi's up to. So I think that's what's going to happen. But right now, going into the second phase of banning, we're waiting on Todak. What else is missing from Omega Esports? They need a mid laner, and there's one taken out, Luoyi.
Oh man, Loyi definitely is going to be pretty much of a disruption, especially when you could just teleport away with the ultimate in that sort of sense. So with that being removed, they definitely would have actually have less of worries. But Link being banned away is definitely going to be a really interesting ban, because Omega Esports, do correct me if I'm wrong, but they do use Link for themselves too. But if they were to be getting that Link for themselves, it will be pretty much of a greedy pick, knowing that Todak now does have the priority.
Yep. And I think there will be no room for the Ling, given that Yusun Shin is already here. Unless this is a side lane, Yusun Shin. Gold lane Yusun Shin is not unheard of, not impossible, but I think that, it is a little too tight. It is a little too tight.
Yeah.
So they take out the Ling themselves, while on the other hand, last ban for Todak is going to be the Farsa. I think they are just on a one-track mind right now. Yelly Haze, you're not going to get any of these good mid-heroes.
Yeah, I definitely think that Farsa is a very safe way to go for Todak. They have already have a very clear mind of what they want. They want to force them in towards the corner, or just going for pickups. You can see every single one of the heroes that Todak has picked right here is capable of a very easy dive. So they can all move in together, have that sort of mobility to just get back out as well. And if they keep going in for those pickup, I think that Omega Esports might be bleeding out if they were to be punished for it.
Yep, this is essentially MOBA fundamentals. It's the battle of yin and yang. It's the dive comp versus the poke comp, and we're here seeing them complete both their puzzles. Two more picks per side, and we have Todak going for one more here. They're lacking a solid tank. I wonder what E1 has left in the tank. Get it? He's the tank player.
Yeah, I'm pretty much getting it right in. So, back in the days when Grok used to be a thing, he was one of the best Grok players around. But now that that's off the table, maybe a Boxia or who knows, Gacha could even be working in a certain way. But I'm not even sure if that's the case. But okay, and we are going to be getting Four-Base Sure with the Chope. Tank Cho? Possible?
Or another side laner, right? This is the Todak formula. Still a strong believer in the 1-3-1, which, by the way, I still believe is just as impressive. Still efficient. I mean, the whole XP lane and gold lane from Project Next should not have killed the strategy. If anything, it made it better.
Oh, indeed. And it would be even more interesting if all of them actually go on like a full offense build and just try to go all in on this one. But of course, somebody's gotta neutralize it at one point, and Ruby's gonna be coming into the picture alongside with an Eudora. So let's talk through this, all right? So I definitely think that there's a whole lot of crowd control coming in from Omega Esports to actually suppress all these sort of firepower coming in from the side of Todak. But the answer with the Akai.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe this is the best tank in the game right now.
Oh.
Given how outplays are all the more possible, you have a solid body, and the damage output, it's not nothing. So yeah, this is going to be Tankakai, two side laners in Cho, and Khalid for Todak. While Omega Esports, you did mention they have a solid amount of CC, and I do understand it's more of just targeted CC. It's single point and click precision CC coming in from Omega Esports, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a matter of time. We're loading into the land of Dawn. Omega Esports versus Todak, the Philippines versus Malaysia. Again, Contra, this is going to set the pace for the rest of M2, not just the group stages, but even into the playoffs. Because two series per day, we're basically halfway through the first.
That's right, and now, of course, have a glimpse to your favorite players on deck. Of course, you got Moon, always with his slick hair, and they are pretty much unfazed. We're going to be going in towards our very first game in a real short bit, and here we go. And towards the land of Dawn for Game 1 in the M2 World Championship of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Over right here with me, casting alongside is definitely going to be Leo Gaming, and I'm Contra. And we will not forget to thank Singtel, our partners in esports, to unlock lag-free and ultra-fast gaming experience with Singapore's fastest 5G network. Keep calling and get the edge you need on your road to mistaken MLBB with Singtel.
Oh, look at this. Heat starting it up strong. Again, this is going to be key. You got to bother Chiku. You got to take away these purples, these oranges, and the serpent's still alive. Maybe a third of health left. Heath is just working his mask. He's saying, you know what, this is a non-starter. Could not get it.
Oh, he actually dives in a little bit late to the scene, and it might just be part of she's already used this flicker as well. He needs to get out of this, and I believe that chunk of health left, he's got to back away.
Oh, Curtizi super aggressive up top, cutting the lane already. I do believe this is maybe just the second or third wave. Oh, the duel! It's happening! For Maze already goes in for the flicker. That's out. Curtizi looking for a dash. Can he find him in the bush? Oh, he gets it!
Whoa!
That's first blood for Omega Esports.
Just look at that flow, and Curtsy still at it once again, and E1 tries to finish him off, and he managed to make it out!
What?
Absolutely insane! Omega Esports not only got the first blood, but he makes it out alive.
With relative impunity. Not the team, but the fact that he was not punished at all. That was a big three-man rotation sent in by Todak, and in mid, that's going to be Moon being hit by the Mountain Shocker, survives with just a sliver of health as well.
Yeah, and I am definitely excited to see what goes up next. A lot of all these flickers have already popped up from the side of Todak, and they are forced to play passive all the way. Now, Kenji is also controlling his lane relatively well, so if they were to choose to roam, definitely could be great.
Now, looking at this, we got it all wrong during the draft, I must admit.
Yeah.
It's actually the Ruby and the Khalid, and then the Benedetta and the Cho facing off. Now, Heath just checking the bush, seeing who wants in. E1 goes for the bite, now starting this very first turtle. Again, we talked about this in the pre-game discussion. Counters and timers are just way up. That's the first turtle going over to Omega.
Yeah, and Omega Esports, like we said, really put the pedal to the metal on this one as they managed to really rake in on the goal. They're already 1K ahead, and he forces E1 to back away. He has to find a different angle to perhaps give a little bit of support heading down towards the bottom side, but Yelly Haze to be having some danger right here.
Ooh, there's a Mountain Shocker alongside the ejector. Oh, they're going to go for the neck, and Moon goes down. E1 survives. Not much he could do to help out his mid laner, and now Chiku, PMI out, goes for the duel. That's going to be the blazing duet. Oh, it's not a duel if it's a 2v1, and he's out.
Yeah, he knows he's got no business there being a 2v1, and all he can do is just get as much of those creeps as possible. And now Kenji possibly will be just, doing what he can just to sustain, and Stu will just be quite an annoyance to deal with.
Yeah, Contra, let me make a quick prediction here, and let's say a call. Hold up before that. Nice ejector, three-man rotation. Not much Stu could have done. I was going to say, if that didn't happen, and these two side laners here, top and bottom, just continue doing what they did, it would be a slow crawl win for Omega. It's because they're winning these side lanes, right? But then Heath comes in with the massive rotation.
Indeed, and you just see that Todak just haven't seen to find a way to respond to this at all. This is not what they're used to in the early game, and it's really costing them a lot. Now, you can see 3-0, but all they have to do is just to hold on and eventually look for that mid-game fight. But Wave Dragon in towards the mid side. As you can see, Boom dives in as well. Yali Hayes gets caught out, and it's going to be Eve. They'll be forcing the flicker out of Maze, and he finally pops that away.
Nice hurricane dance to save himself, Heath, and Hajizi. There's not enough damage between the both of them, so even E1 gets away, even Moon survives. Now, real quick, big fight in the river. There's a rampaging sandstorm. Stu gets one. Down goes Hajizi. The machine needs some maintenance.
Oh man, speaking of the machine here, he's going to be flipping Moon over like a burger patty, and man, he definitely doesn't want any of that sort of pressure going on. He's going to be backing away, but fixing back down and towards the bottom side of the map, we do see Kenji just enjoying his time over on the bottom side after getting that one pick off. And of course, that might just happen again to that Khalid if he's not careful enough. But over the PZ side, the 1v1 is commencing.
I love it how top lane here is all about just the mechanically skilled heroes. It's just, yeah, the Shunpos and just the dashes on the Cho versus the parries coming in from Cortese, and the dashes is infinite, right? But right now, look at this. Kenji, with the help of Hajizi, of course, off camera. That's going to be the Mount Shocker checking him out. Ooh, trap set in. Quick take on the turtle first for a good fight. Here we go, charging it up. Let's see what happens. Blazing the wet out. Chico, I love how he's so disciplined.
Yeah, he's definitely holding on towards the trigger at the moment, and Formaze is just getting as much vision as he can. Just looking at the itemization right now, we do have Stu already having half the season. Oh, it's going to be Eve that will be able to pull E1 right in. And that is definitely quite a worrisome affair, but well, we do have the Demon Hunter Sword out as well for the side of Chiku, so that's going to be great.
Yep, but right now there's a top lane fight here extending into the river. E1 just hops out. 1,000-pounder to save himself. Oh, there's a flicker and an arrow for good measure by Moon, saving his teammate, and that's going to be another failed engage. Okay, so the first 5 minutes were relatively action-packed, and I think these two teams now respect each other a little more. Now Maze looking for an engagement, and he backs out. Arrow finds no target. Blazing the Wet by Chiku, going 1v1 against Kenji. Yeah, I don't think Kenji should pick this fight. He'd get kited.
Yeah, definitely he has already had a lot of his HP down, but he gets back up, quickly regens, and all the way back in. Stu is going to be engaging right here with the Sandstorm, and this 1v1 is not looking in favor of the side of Kenji. He opts out with the flicker.
That's going to be a fight that he does not want to pick up. And, Maze already picking up the Blade of Despair. He means business as he takes these smaller creep camps up top. But now, that is a Hurricane Dance that E1 regrets. And there's an ejector on the Chiku. The first death for the jungle player, for Todak. And there's some revenge on the Yelly Haze. But Hajizi gets the third one. Will there be a fourth? No, it's going to be a trade instead. Heath is still alive. How did he survive?
I don't understand. They went in 1-by-1 and really give up the mid lane tower, and Omega Esports just got so many freebies going their way. They're definitely enjoying what they can possibly take at the moment.
Not a single turtle missed, and now they're going to take their third after that quick rotation and conversion in mid after what I believe was a 3-for-1.
Yeah, and I definitely think it's not even worth it for them to really dive in towards the side of Heath. Like, what do you actually get by just shutting down a jaw hit? Absolutely nothing. And now E1 getting caught out again, and you can just see Heath is just in every single one of these team fights.
And already Mr. Fundamentals, as some folks would like to call him, sitting at 1-0-5. And here's the thing, Contra. Delay and pull yourself together, so you kill him. He comes back all the sooner. He doesn't care.
That's right, Leo. Like, all you have to focus on is all these sort of hyper carries coming online. And, one more injector all the way to the back. They cast the Selena, and Moon is out of it. Picture right now. Omega 8-3.
Wow, Moon was just thinking like about what he's gonna have for lunch, and he's like, "Hold up, there's 3 members of Omega on me." I was not planning for that, and I think Todak, they were thinking maybe a step ahead, and they were like about to rotate, but it was just too late. Again, the fact that Yelia is here, has the Eudora, means he's playing for the net. He's playing for keeps, and there's another one. Ejector into the back. E1 goes for the Hurricane Dance. They just need one more hit, and oh, not enough Smart Missiles to finish the job, and there's a hook in by Kenji. Going for the finish is Hajizi. That's a double. Moon goes down finally, and another turret.
Well, what can I say? It's just a straight up stomp right now where you could just see Heave outright bullying this Akai. Every single time he sees that panda's gonna go extinct, and seems like there's gonna be another one biting the dust. And once more, E1 goes down.
Ooh, Stu tried to help. I see that. Stu tried to help. Goes in with the Rampaging Sandstorm. I'll stun him. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's not enough. He survives. He goes back in. And I think Quick Sand Guard would have been a little too dangerous, given that Yelly Haze was there as well. Could have gone for the stun, stopped the shenanigans. And right now, the map is looking mad blue, Contra. It's looking mad blue. And Omega Esports, this is what they're good at. Again, they know the steps between A, B, and C. You take them to like maybe J and K, things get a little shady, but it's not going to happen because they get another one. Stu goes down in mid. Kenji gets caught out. Oh, he hooks him in. He hooks him in. They despair. I'm sorry. I'm losing my words. It's because it's just too crazy. What was that? The flicker and hook? The flicker and hook?
Wow. We got to catch a replay if we can because that was absolute beauty. I've lost for words, but you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead, take the Lord. I think Todak is pretty much done for now.
That was ridiculous. That was, what, 3 people underneath the turret. He goes for the hook, flickers away, feeds Chico and the rest into the rest of Omega Esports. That's the wrong team, but you know what I'm saying? Like, these stickers,
Okay.
yeah, they're in other groups, but wow, Omega Esports sitting at 14-3.
That's right, and maybe they're sending signals. It's like, hey, Alter Ego, are you watching this? Like, we're coming after you next.
Evos SG, check it out.
Oh yeah, and the list goes on. I wonder how many more stickers do we see because early on we saw Moon pop up that M1 sticker, but yep, this Hurricane Down's gonna be setting up and just actually get Heat right across, but he is in safety. Stu gets caught out instead, and Curtizi looking for blood, hunting for Chiku as well as Moon. He's already inside of the enemy space.
What?
And he doesn't care. Drop that missile arrow as much as you may. I will take out your inhibitor turn on the top lane.
He caught it with much gusto. He's like, I'll take it. Don't give it to Hajizi. I'll take it. Now Chico running for his life in his own base. This is not a good spot to be if you are Todak. And it looks like they're just focusing on the base right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just 11 minutes and 15 seconds in. Mid lane gonna be as well. The next target, another ejector onto E1. And ladies and gentlemen, it's just a matter of time. That's gonna be game 1 going over to Omega Esports.
And now the Philippines will top the groups at the moment. Omega really represented it well with them hungry for the first win. And the champions of MYSG will suffer a first round defeat. But hey, all's not over just yet because this is just